Well, the Utah Central dates back to 1869. Brigham Young started the Utah Central right after the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad up at Promontory Summit. The yard we work out of is actually the old Denver and Rio Grande Western Rail Yard, and it was built in the late 1800s, and the Denver and Rio Grande and the Southern Pacific both used that yard. You could get to any place in the world from Ogden, and any trains that came through Salt Lake or through Denver or through San Francisco or anywhere in the United States, they would meet in Ogden. So the rail yard was very important. In the early days, in 1869, when the Transcontinental Railroad came to Utah and was able to connect the east with the west, it was the first time that people in Utah could get supplies rather quickly from back east or from the west. And so to be able to have commodities come in like that was pretty amazing. And then also the factor of passenger travel went from months to cross the country to 7 days. So the rail yards and developing the community was not only important for this community, but for all across the United States of America. So the history to Ogden is pretty significant. The railroad was very important to Ogden.
Come on back, 50, 50.
Current operation, Utah Central Railway, that began operations in 1992, started using the yard at that time. We share it with the Utah Railway. They have half the yard, we have the other side.
We have a lot of companies that have to find a place to open up a business where there's railroad accessibility. So the more a railroad can own and operate territory, then that'll bring more people in to buy business spots, especially where they require train service.
We bring in anything from Huggies diapers to asphalt to lumber to metal steel coils to corn, all kinds of supplies, and so we need to group those cars to their like counterparts to deliver those to the various companies that we do business with.
On our railroad, we usually have 2 locomotives operating together in multiple unit sequence, and we're able to handle anywhere from a 30-car cut would be fairly simple up to about 90 cars. 90 cars being more difficult. A lot of times we'll have to cut the train in half and switch it out, and then grab the other half and switch it out. We have quite a yard, quite a nice yard.
You get your throttle, your engine brakes, independent brakes, and your train line brakes, which is called an automatic brake valve, which we don't have a train now, so we'll be using that. You got a bell and a whistle, and there's some people up here working in this general area, so they'll get a whistle.
We deal with a lot of different train cars. We deal with the box cars, we deal with tank cars, grain, the covered hopper cars, And each one of those cars carry different commodities and are designed to do different things. Also, each car is assigned a number, and then each track is assigned a number. And what we'll do is in the morning we'll get a list of the cars and the customers we need to spot up. It'll tell us where the cars are and in what order those cars need to be delivered to the various companies. So the cars are very distinct in their designs to hold different commodities and to do different functions.
We have several customers anywhere from chemical plants to hard metal plants to several grain companies, and what we do is we take their loaded cars up to them if that's what they've ordered and bring the empties back. There's a lot of switching involved. Sometimes we'll have to spot cars in a particular order on 3 different tracks, and we just go about our work and we have a fairly good idea what we're going to do before we get there. And of course there's always surprises come up. That's the main commodities here.
Well, the train yard, again, we use that train yard to build our trains. It's a place where we can store our cars. This railroad, we operate on Utah Central. We have 2 jobs. We have a day job and we have a job that works mostly in the evening. And the daylight job, mostly what we do is we have a couple of satellite locations. We have Western Zirconium and we have BDO in Ogden, which we switch out. And then we also interchange with the Union Pacific Railroad. So we take cars from our rail yard and deliver those to the Union Pacific rail yard. And then we also pick up from the Union Pacific rail yard and bring it back for our customers. So that gives us a place where we can, do our work. It takes some time to build a train before you can deliver it to our customers. We have probably 20 plus customers that we deliver to. And so you can imagine it takes quite a bit of time to build a train to make it deliverable to the customer, so we don't spend a whole lot of time in their yards, because each customer we visit or deliver cars to, they have their own yard, but it's nowhere near the capacity to switch out or to build other customers' cars.
Our transfer yard is separated into 2 halves. And we have another railroad that comes in and out of the same yard we do, so there's times when we have to share and share alike to make sure that we're both able to get our jobs done. Even though in some ways we compete with one another, we still have to be congenial for when there's a large cut of cars coming in and we don't have quite the room to switch them. We'll have to borrow one of their rails, and they, on the other hand, will bring a big train in and borrow one of our rails.
Pretty good where you're at now.
The current operation began in 1992 and has reflected the steep history of what its predecessor, the Utah Central, had done before. And we've tried to carry on that tradition of being a smaller railroad, and by being a smaller railroad, we're able to provide a lot better service. We're able to service our customers in a way that the customers want to be serviced. And we take pride in making sure that we do it safely, we do it quickly, and we do it efficiently. We really are here to service our customers, and I think that's something that's very distinct about Utah Central Railway, is the fact that we are very customer driven. There's not very many people in the world who get to run a railroad the way we do, and here at Utah Central we can do multiple tasks. We may be assigned to be an engineer or a conductor or a brakeman, but from time to time that might change. And maybe one day one person might be asked to run an engine when he normally is a conductor, or the conductor may, the brakeman may have to take over the conductor's responsibilities. We basically do whatever we can to do the job. There's so many, every day is a different day. It's not always the same thing. So it keeps it interesting, it keeps it fun. It's just an awesome thing to be able to go out there and run a train and take it around Ogden and then go home at night and go to bed. It's a great thing.